This is Energized, a podcast about simple ways you can improve your energy. I'm Dina, a naturopath, personal trainer and wellness coach with 14 years experience working with a wide range of clients to help improve their health, fitness and overall energy. Hello and welcome to this week's Energized podcast episode. Just my general health disclaimer before I start. While I am a qualified naturopath and personal trainer, anything I talk about in this podcast episode is general in nature. If you'd like some individualized advice, then please get in touch. Okay, now that's out the way. This week I thought I would talk about how to keep your energy high after you exercise by using food and supplements. So as you might know from previous episodes, I've just launched Mum's Health Collective, which is another business that provides outdoor exercise classes specifically for pregnant women and mums. So whether your child is a newborn past 6 weeks or you have teenagers or grown-up children, you are welcome to join Mum's Health Collective outdoor exercise classes. I am doing a 6-week block at the moment, and there's always an option to come and trial out a class. But because I'm doing that and I guess introducing or showing a lot more clients what exercise can look like, I thought that I would record a podcast episode all about keeping your energy levels high after you exercise, because one of my big tips for feeling energized and having more energy is exercising. But there's a fine balance, right? Because some people over-exercise and then they're exhausted. Other people don't exercise enough and don't actually get that energy. So I'm not actually going to talk today about the balance of how much is too much, because I have talked about that in the past, but also it's very individual to each person. But what I am going to talk about is you've done an exercise class and you've increased your energy, so you feel great afterwards. How can you keep that level of energy at what it is, so pretty high, for the rest of your day and for the few days afterwards, especially when you're feeling that muscle fatigue after exercise, which a lot of mums have been talking to me about because it's all new to them. So my first tip, I've got 5 tips to share today. My first tip is to eat within 30 minutes of exercising. So this isn't so important if you're, say, just going out for a walk, but it is important if you're doing some kind of resistance training, something where you are using your muscles, or if you're doing some kind of high cardio. So the classes that I teach at Mum's Health Collective, as well as my PT sessions, all use muscles in some kind of resistance training form. So in that case, within 30 minutes of finishing exercise, you want to be eating something that has both protein and carbs in it. So I know that we think of protein sometimes as bodybuilders, they're trying to get lots of protein, but you want to be having carbs in there as well. So and you want to have protein. It's not just the bodybuilders that need protein. We need protein as well. So examples of foods that you could have could be eggs and toast. You can add, veggies to that as well to increase the carbs. One of my favorite things to do is to make a smoothie with protein powder. So you want to make sure that you're getting about at least, I would say, 20 grams of protein. So if you're having eggs with toast, 2 eggs is about 12 grams of protein, but you could add a couple of slices of cheese to get up to the 20 to 25 gram mark. For a smoothie, normally protein powders tend to be a couple scoops is about 20 grams of protein, depending on the brand or the type of protein powder. I personally like using hemp protein. I also like other vegan protein brands. They're just low allergenic and you can disguise the taste quite easily. So they tend to be about 2 scoops, is around 18 to 20 grams of protein. And then when I want to increase the protein a little bit more, I'll add a tablespoon of peanut butter, which is about 5 grams of protein. Other ways to get your protein in there. And with the smoothie, I always add coconut milk or almond milk or coconut water, something that's got high carb, and I'm adding fruit in there as well, whether it's berries, which are quite low carb, but if it's post-exercise, I'll make sure that I get a banana in there, or some mango, or, whatever's on hand, really, that is carby and that is going to help me recover post-exercise. So the reason that you need to eat within 30 minutes post-exercise is because when you exercise, your body uses up glycogen stores. So you want to eat some kind of carbohydrate which contains glucose, which your body converts to glycogens to replenish your glycogen stores, so that your body doesn't think that you are on hunger strike, or your body doesn't have to tap into other stores, right? So if you're not into eggs and toast, you're not into smoothies, you could also have meat or fish or chicken, tofu, any other kind of protein, but just remember to have some toast with it or some kind of carb that will help replenish those glycogen stores. So that's my first tip. Make sure that you eat post-exercise. My second tip, if you've just started exercising, especially at the moment in Sydney where it is super, super, super humid, you need to be increasing your water intake for at least 24 hours after you exercise. So while you're exercising, I'm always telling people, make sure that you drink water. We have water breaks because when you exercise, you sweat and you are releasing a lot of water from your body, and so you need to replace that. But it's not just while you're exercising and straight afterwards. It will probably last for about 24 hours post-exercise that you need to maintain your hydration and make sure that you are drinking enough water. My third tip is to drink some coconut water. So that's probably my favorite drink at the moment. Coconut water with ice. I don't know why. Probably because it's so hot. Something to do with pregnancy, maybe. I don't know. But drinking coconut water can help with electrolyte balance. So when you exercise, you sweat, as I just mentioned, and sometimes when you sweat, your electrolytes can go out of balance. So that includes sodium and potassium. And coconut water is very high in potassium. So drinking that can help replenish those electrolytes that you might have sweated out during a session. Or if you wanted to, you can sip on coconut water as well during a session. My fourth tip, I think we're up to number 4. Yes. My fourth tip is to take magnesium. So I don't use a lot of supplements specifically around exercise. I know some people do, but I prefer to use food to help your body recover post-exercise. However, my number one nutrient that I prescribe for anybody who does start exercising is magnesium. And that's because after you exercise, you can get something called DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. And magnesium is a muscle relaxant. So it's also one of the electrolytes that you sweat out. And so taking magnesium orally can help to replace those magnesium stores that you might have sweated out. But it can also help with general energy. So I did do a podcast episode a little while ago. I will link it in the show notes, all about magnesium and its beneficial effects for energy. But I will say around exercise that it helps relax your muscles. It helps replenish magnesium that you might have sweated out. But also magnesium is quite low these days in our soils. So we used to get it a lot directly from fruit and vegetables, but the amount that are in the soils has gone down dramatically over the last however many, say 50 plus years. So supplementing with magnesium is one of those things that I say is pretty essential to help with energy levels, but it can also help post-exercise. So how much magnesium or what type of magnesium is important? Often clients will come to me with their magnesium tablets and they say, look, like it says it's high dose, and then I read the ingredients and it, is a high dose, but then the actual amount that's in each tablet or capsule is quite low. So you want to be aiming for, if you're exercising, at least 300 milligrams of magnesium a day, and the type of magnesium matters. So if it's magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate or biglycinate, those forms are really good at helping to replenish magnesium, and they get absorbed quite well as well. All right, my fifth tip that I'm going to share to help you keep your energy high after exercise is also a supplement, but this is a general, class of supplements, and those are herbs. So I have spoken a little bit about herbal medicine in previous podcast episodes, and I used to do a herb of the week. But this week I just want to talk herbs in general, and they can include specific herbs like the ginsengs, rhodiola, other adaptogenic herbs. So herbs that help your body adapt to stress are herbs that are particularly useful, especially when you start exercise, because exercise is a form of stress on the body. It's a good stress. We don't talk about stress enough as being good or bad, but there are good stresses on the body and not so good stresses on the body. When you exercise, it's a good stress because it's putting strain on your muscles, which causes them to, or in the muscles, it causes micro tears, and those micro tears, once they start to have to repair back together, your body goes through a process where it has to use a whole load of different things to be able to do that process, and that is beneficial to your body. So it's a good type of stress. I talked about cortisol production, I think it's 2 episodes ago. You can go back and listen to that. And when you do exercise, you do increase cortisol in your body, but adaptogenic herbs, such as the ones I mentioned, ginsengs, rhodiola, other ones include Gotchicola and Withania is also a really beautiful adaptogen. All of these adaptogenic herbs help your body adapt to those external stresses, so will help with recovery from exercise. Rhodiola specifically is really good for that. Now, herbs are individually prescribed, so I make up bottles in my clinic where they're a mix of different herbs. I also prescribe capsules and tablets, which are specific herbs or a combination of herbs. And sometimes it can be beneficial to take just a single herb as a liquid extract. So at the moment, I'm actually taking Siberian ginseng, which is safe in pregnancy. That's the other thing. So it's important to know that herbs can interact with medication, and a lot of herbs are not, or are not safe or are contraindicated during pregnancy and lactation. So you do want to be seeing a naturopath or a herbalist to prescribe those herbs specifically. I offer express consultations, so they're just a 20-minute consult. If you want to jump on my website, dinasavitz.com, you can book in for one of those to learn more about specific herbs that can help your body adapt to exercise. And I can also prescribe magnesium, practitioner grade magnesium, that can help your body recover from exercise. So those are the 2 things, but herbs, as I mentioned, are individualized. So a herb mix that might work for one person is not going to be so great for somebody else. It's really important to find the right herbs that work for you. And, I get messages from people, or clients tell me that they've learned or they've heard about all these herbs online and they want to try them. And then sometimes I look at their overall picture and I think, oh, you know what? as much as that herb is a beautiful adaptogen, it might be a little bit too stimulating for a certain person with whatever else is going on in their lives. So it is really important to make sure that those herbal prescriptions are individualized and they're not just herbs that you are taking that you just pick up in the supermarket. The other thing that I will lastly mention about herbs is that often they come in powdered form, which is nice, but the amount, the therapeutic dose is a lot lower than if you were going to take it as a liquid that has been prescribed by a herbalist or a naturopath. So it could have some benefit, or it might not because it's such a low therapeutic dose, whereas liquid herbs are quite high and can have really beneficial effects. That's it for this week. So just a quick summary, because I know what it's like to listen to a podcast episode and go, oh yes, I want to do all of those things. And then the episode finishes and you think, oh wait, what was the first one again? So I thought I'll just run through the 5, talking about how to keep your energy levels high after exercise. Number 1 is to eat within 30 minutes. Make sure that there's some type of carb and protein there. Number 2 is to make sure that you're drinking enough water so that you maintain your hydration. Number 3 is to drink coconut water for helping to balance out electrolytes. Number 4 is to take magnesium for delayed onset muscle soreness or that muscle recovery post-exercise, as well as keeping your energy levels stable. And number 5 is to use other supplements such as herbal medicine to help support your body through the changes that occur while you're exercising and beyond. Have a beautiful rest of the week, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear from you. I'm on Instagram at Dina Savitz, or you can send me an email, dina@dinasavitz.com. And I would love it if you could share it with someone who you know might have just started exercising. This time of the year, a lot of people start to increase their exercise regime, and you know that they could benefit from this. I would love for you to share it with them. Thank you so much. Bye.